Hello everyone, welcome to lecture 3 of segment reporting. In this lecture, we are going to understand how to make a segment report. How will a company make a segment report which is to be published and given to the public in general, shareholders in general. Okay, I have made this pro forma of segment report taking 3 segments in consideration, A, B and C. So all of you make the format of this. Give the heading segment report to be published. Columns will be particulars, then segments A, B, C, and then one more column you will make for inter-segment elimination. Okay, inter-segment elimination, and then make that column of total. So first, all of you, in the summary of this chapter, in the beginning, in the summary of this chapter, if you have left any space, ideally over there, otherwise wherever in continuation we are writing, you pause the video and make this format, and then I'll explain you how to make this segment report. Yes, I hope all of you are done with it. Now be attentive how to make a segment report. See, segment report means all the vital informations, all the important informations about the segment is to be given to the shareholders. So if I ask you from profit and loss statement, balance sheet, what all are the important informations which we may have to give to the shareholders? Then you may say revenue, income. Shareholders will be interested in knowing what is the income of each and every segment. Expenses, they'll be interested in knowing the expenses of each and every segment. Then profit, what each and every segment of the company is earning profit and which segment is incurring loss if at all. Shareholders being the owners of the company, they will be interested in knowing the segments which are making profits as well as the segments which are making loss, because they have to remain invested in the company or not. So revenue they are interested in, expenses they are interested in, profits they are interested in. Okay, other than that they'll be interested in knowing what proportion of expenses and incomes of the company are incurred at segment and at head office. Means head office is the controlling authority, controlling place which controls all the segments spread over various places. So which are the expenses and incomes at segment? Other than that, what incomes and expenses head office is earning standalone without the contribution of segments, or you can say such expenses and incomes which cannot be allocated to each and every segment. Head office renders service to all the segments. So such common incomes and expenses which they are rendering to for the services they are rendering to all the segments, they'll be interested in knowing that also. Then they'll be interested in knowing what are the assets, liabilities of each and every segment. Other than that, what are the assets and liabilities of head office? So all this information what I told you right now, revenue, expenses, profits, standalone expenses and incomes of head office, assets, liabilities, this all information we have to include in segment report to be published. So this is how it goes. All of you first give the heading segment revenue. Very first we will be writing in the report segment revenue. Now segment revenue can come from two sources. One is external. External means the revenue which comes from outside sources, outside customers. Okay, outside customers. So in that we will write amounts in all the columns. Now inter-segment elimination, nothing will come over here. Okay, in inter-segment elimination, nothing will come over here. Then after external, internal. Internal means inter-segment revenue. Internal means inter-segment revenue. So if suppose segment A supplies goods to segment B, then that is called inter-segment revenue. Okay, for example, I'll give you an example. Suppose you go to buy some t-shirt, jeans, shoes, belts, etc. in Vadodara Central at Baroda. Okay, and you find that the particular piece you require, your size is not available. Suppose your size of the shirt is 40 and same pattern, same particular company and brand, 42 size is available, 38 size is available, but 40 is not available. So what the Vadodara Central does is they call their Ahmedabad or Surat or Rajkot showrooms and inquire, do they have the size of 40 for the same pattern? They have it. So they tell you that you can come and collect the same shirt tomorrow of your size. It is available. If you require, you place the order, you give the money, will get that shirt from Ahmedabad or Rajkot or Surat, and then tomorrow you can come and collect the same. Now here, Suppose Ahmedabad branch of Vadodara Central sends to Baroda. Okay, Ahmedabad Central sends to Vadodara Central. Here for Ahmedabad Central, it's an inter-segment revenue. Because for Ahmedabad also it is sales. Overall for the central company itself, it's a sales. It is going to external customer. But the only thing is, Ahmedabad is not directly selling to the customer. It is selling to Vadodara. And for Vadodara, it will come in external sales. Means Ahmedabad branch will write the same in internal sales. And Baroda branch will write the same in external sales. So inter-segment revenue means when one branch sends the goods or services to another branch, then that is, and also charged for the same. Because Ahmedabad branch has to show in the stock, the records that they have sent it to other branch. So they also have to charge the revenue for the same. Then such revenue is called inter-segment revenue. So inter-segment revenue we will subtract. No, we will add, sorry. So all the three places, but in elimination, inter-segment elimination, we will subtract it. Now why in inter-segment elimination we will subtract it? Understand it. Why in inter-segment elimination we will subtract it? As I said to you, Ahmedabad branch will also include it in revenue. Baroda branch will also include it in revenue. So finally, is the revenue earned for the company two times? Ahmedabad is selling to Baroda branch, so they have to include in their inter-segment revenue. Baroda is selling to the customer finally, so Baroda will include in external revenue. Is the company earning the revenue from the sales two times? No, only one time. So what the company does when we make this segment report, they eliminate. You can see the heading of that last second column. What is it? Inter-segment elimination. Whatever inter-segment revenue is there, that you have to subtract and eliminate. What is the reason for eliminating it? Because of double counting. Okay, same revenue cannot be included in the books of the accounts two times, so we have to eliminate it. But we include it first and then eliminate it, because when the shareholders get the information, they must come to know what was the revenue of Ahmedabad branch also and Baroda branch also. So in Ahmedabad branch, shareholders must come to know how much has occurred from inter-segment sales and how much has occurred from external. So this report is made in such a manner that you come to know the information of each and every segment also, and overall picture of the company also. So what is the reason for having this inter-segment elimination column and subtracting it? So that double counting is not done in the sales of the company. So we eliminate that. Okay. Now, we'll get the total revenue. Okay, so below that you all write total revenue of every segment. In this, again, the total revenue, inter-segment elimination you will minus, and then you'll get the final total revenue. Now from that you all will subtract segment expenses. As I said, what all informations the shareholders are interested in knowing: revenue, expenses, profits. So you'll minus inter-segment expenses, write them in bracket. Okay, you'll minus inter-segment expenses, write them in bracket. Now here inter-segment elimination, you'll add it back. Okay, like revenue in inter-segment elimination, to eliminate the inter-segment sales we minus it. Same way expenses we subtract, but to eliminate the inter-segment expenses we add it back. We do the reverse. Okay, again, so that in expenses there is no double counting. Same reason. In sales there is no double counting, so you minus it. In expenses also, so that there is no double counting, you add it back, so that the same expenses eliminated and included only one time. But which amount will you add it back over here? That is important. If no information is given in the question, entire amount, same amount. If no information is given, then same amount. Why same amount? The logic is, if Ahmedabad is sending that shirt to Baroda, there are two things possible. MRP of that shirt is suppose 1200 rupees and cost of that shirt is suppose 900 rupees. Either Ahmedabad will show that shirt sent to Baroda at 1200 rupees, or Ahmedabad will show that shirt sent to Baroda at 900 rupees. If they are showing at 900 rupees, then that itself is their cost. Then what will you do? Here you will include, if they are sending at 900, okay, then in their books also they are showing 900. So here you will include 900, inter-segment sales you will minus. And because you are sending at cost, 900 itself is the cost of that shirt, so that we have to eliminate. So minus 900 and plus 900 because you are sending at cost. When I come to profit part, I'll explain you if they are sending at profit what will happen. So here you will show segment results. Okay, here you will show segment results. Means profit or loss. It can be plus or minus. This can be plus or minus. We don't know. This can be plus or minus. If it is plus, we'll write it as it is. If it is minus, you'll write it in bracket. Now suppose, let us take the example what I told you right now, that they don't sell at 900. Ahmedabad also sends at 1200. Then what will you do? If Ahmedabad also sells at 1200, then in inter-segment revenue you will include 1200. But cost you will include 900 only. Segment you will include 1200, but cost you will include 900 only. So here you will minus 1200, here you will add 900, and you can say what is the profit you are earning? 300. To eliminate that profit also 300 you will add. And if it is 900 only, then it will be nil. If it is 900 only, then it will be nil. See, once again understand both the situations. Two things are possible. One thing possible is that Ahmedabad sends to Baroda at cost price. MRP of that shirt is 900, but they send it to Baroda at 900 because it is internal transaction only. In that situation, here you minus 900. Here you again total minus 900. Okay, that is total revenue. In that cost is also 900, so you add 900 and here nil amount will come. Means in profit, no amount is included. Inter-segment profit is not there because they have sent the goods at cost itself, so inter-segment profit is not there. So in inter-segment results or profit, nil amount will come. Now other situation I am explaining you that they send the goods at 1200. So in revenue you will minus 1200. But the cost of that was 900. So in inter-segment expenses you will add 900. Now profit of 300 is also to be eliminated. Minus 1200 plus 900. Profit of 300 is also to be eliminated because that profit company is earning for internal transaction only, not from the outside person. Okay, from outside person in external sales of Baroda branch, it will be already included and that profit will also be counted. It should not be double counted. So to avoid that double counting, internal profit of 300 we minus and eliminate the same. So in short, you can have any amounts. Keep it in mind. You can have positive, you can have negative. But if no information is given, I repeat, if no information is given, then we assume that the goods are sent at cost only. So in revenue, what amount you minus, same amount you add it over here. Okay, this is the logic. And then again, you'll get three amounts over here. So this is how we have to calculate the segment results. Then after segment results, everything will come only in the last column of total. In that, we have to add any head office income. Then we have to subtract any head office expenses. These are which head office incomes and expenses? Either they are incurred standalone for the branch, head office, or they are incurred for head office render services to all the segments A, B, and C. So they are incurred jointly for A, B, and C, and you cannot allocate that income or expense, whether it is from A, from B, from C, or that expenses towards A or B or C. It's just the total amount information what is available. In that situation, we show it separately. And then we will get profits before interest and tax. Okay, profits before interest and tax. Now from that we have to subtract interest. And then what we get is profits before tax. Okay, from that we have to subtract interest, and then what we get is profit before tax. So this is the main information regarding the profits of the company. What we have to show, very simple. First you show revenue. When you show revenue, you show external as well as internal. You get the total revenue. Then minus expenses, you get segment results. Then you add head office, standalone incomes and expenses. You minus separately, you get profit before interest and tax. PBIT minus interest, you get profit before tax. Now after this, we show the information about the assets of the company. So what information do you show about the assets of the company? First, you write segment assets. As I said, report means it will include everything. In one report, shareholders must get an idea about the profits of the company also and assets and liabilities of the company also. So segment assets, nothing will come in inter-segment elimination. Assets, nothing is to be eliminated. So total. And then head office assets, standalone assets, okay, which are not there at segments but only at head office, those will be included here. So head office assets, and then we will get total assets. Okay, after that what we will get is the total assets. Then liabilities. After that, we'll show the liabilities of the company. In liabilities, what we'll show is segment liabilities. Okay, exactly like head office segment assets, we'll show segment liabilities. Then we'll show head office liabilities. Okay, after segment liabilities, we'll show head office liabilities, which are standalone liabilities, not contributed by any segments. And then we will add total liabilities. Okay, after that, we'll get the total liabilities. So this is how the segment report is to be published. Quite simple. All of you note it down and try to memorize it and write it one more time without seeing it. Okay, write it one more time without seeing it. First, you have to include segment revenue. In that, external, internal, then total revenue. Now here, then you'll minus segment expenses and you'll get segment results. Now in inter-segment elimination column, what is important? To eliminate the revenue, we minus it. To eliminate the expenses, we plus it. And again, to eliminate the profits, we will minus, and losses, we will plus. So here it can be, as I have shown it to you, here it can be plus or minus. If there are inter-segment profits, we will minus it. If there are inter-segment losses, we will add it. Okay. Over here, inter-segment profits, we will minus. And if there are any inter-segment losses, we will plus. Okay, it's already explained with the help of an example. In that, further, you'll add head office income minus head office expenses, you get profit before interest and tax, minus interest, you get profit before tax. Then you show the assets, segment assets, head office assets, total assets. Then you show the liabilities, segment liabilities, head office liabilities, and total liabilities. So if you all have written this, we will take up with the practical questions based on the same. Yes, now let us solve question number 1, which is based on this publication of segment report. Okay, understand it properly. XYZ Limited has 3 divisions. 3 segments are there, A, B, and C. And details of their turnover, results, net assets, all are given below. So division A, segment A. Now, whatever segment A has sold to B, sales to B, will be inter-segment revenue. A is sending the goods to B, so that will be considered as inter-segment revenue. Other sales, home means within the country. Whatever division A is selling, remaining goods within the country will be external sales. And export sales will also be external sales. In short, total external sales will be 60 plus 4090, 4150. Total external sales of segment A will be 4150. 60 is sold within the country, 4090 is sold outside the country. And what it has sold to division B, that is inter-segment revenue. Okay, this all is segment revenue. Sales means segment revenue. Same way, division B, whatever it is selling to C will be internal, inter-segment revenue. Whatever it is selling export sales to Europe will be external revenue. Division C has only export sales to America, so that will be external revenue. Now, operating profit or losses before tax are directly given. Because operating losses or profit before tax are directly given, expense will be the difference. For example, 7,200 is the revenue of segment A. 160 is the operating profit of segment A. So you can say 7,200 minus 160. 7,040 are the expenses of segment A. I hope everyone is able to understand. Because what you are given is directly operating profit or loss of each segment. Means segment results are directly given to you. What are these? These are segment results directly given to you. Profit or loss. So if segment A is earning a profit of 160 and it is having revenue of 7,200, means what would be the expenses at the segment level remaining of 7,040. Same way for segment B, 230 minus 20, 210 would be the expenses. And for segment C, 180 plus 10, because it's a loss of 10. It means expenses would be more, minus will become plus. So for segment C, it would be 180 plus 10. Okay, for segment C, it would be 180 plus 10, 190 of expenses, then only you'll get loss. Revenue 180, expense 190, so loss of 10. So in segment C, this minus will become plus. Now, reallocated cost from head office, so head office expenses. Okay, now head office expenses, we will directly add in the total column only, minus in the total column only. 50 plus 25 plus 25, straight away we will take 100. Interest cost will directly take in the total column. Fixed assets, net current assets and long-term liabilities are also to be reported at the end. Prepare a segment report to be published. So all of you make the format of this segment report. Okay, just make the format of this segment report because I've already done it, so I've made it ready. You just make the columns, and then when we discuss it at that time only, you write the amounts, external, internal, everything. Don't write the particulars in details. What I mean, just write the segment report. Don't write the particulars in detail. Okay, pause the video and make the format. I hope you all are done with it. Now see, segment revenue external. What is external revenue of A as I discussed? 60 plus 4090, 4150. 60 plus 4190. The total revenue of segment A from external sources is 4250. Sorry, 60 plus 4090, 4150. Okay, 60 plus 4090, that is 4150. Now, segment B, what is the external revenue we discussed here? Segment B's external revenue is this 200. External sales to Europe is 200. So, write on segment B 200. Segment C, what is the external revenue? 180, directly given. So, segment C, all of you write down 180. Now, total. Now, total 4150 plus 200 plus 180. Okay, 4150 plus 200 plus 180. All of you must get total of 4530. Now, inter-segment revenue. Inter-segment revenue in case of segment A is 3050. Okay, inter-segment revenue means division A sold to B, so it is 3050. Same way, segment B sold to segment C is inter-segment revenue of 30. So in segment B, the inter-segment revenue is 30. Now, in segment C, there is no inter-segment revenue. Segment C has direct export sales to America only. There is no inter-segment revenue. Okay. So, inter-segment elimination. Now, double counting will not take place. So, 3050 plus 30 from the revenue of overall company, 3080 is to be eliminated. So, write it in bracket. 3080 is to be eliminated. So, write it in bracket. Okay. And here it will come nil, because that inter-segment revenue from the total sales of the company 4530 will get eliminated, so internal sales will not be included, right? Now after this, total revenue 4150 plus 3050 will be 7200, 200 plus 30 230, 180 plus nil 180, and here we have to eliminate in the revenue 3080 from the sales, so total will come 4530. Now segment expenses. As I discussed with you, segment expenses are not given but results are given. So difference amount would be expenses. So as I discussed, 7200 minus 160 would be 7040. 7200 minus 160. For division A, the segment expenses will be right in bracket. We have to subtract them. 7040. Same way for division B, 230 minus 20. For division B, 230 minus 20. So that would be coming to 210. In division B, what we have to minus is 210. Okay. And for division C, as I said, it's a loss, so it will become 180 plus 10, 190. In division C, it's a loss, so it will become 180 plus 10. What we are supposed to eliminate here is 190. Now, are you given any information about inter-segment profits or inter-segment expenses? No. So what did I tell you? If nothing is given, just now I told you, you take same amount. Okay, what did I tell you? If nothing is given, then you take it as same. Why same? Because we assume the inter-branch or inter-segment transfers take place at cost. Means if 3080 is inter-segment revenue, 3080 itself would be its cost. You are not selling at profit. You are selling the goods at cost to another segment. Okay. So this 3080 itself is the expense and revenue also. Okay. Here it will become 7040 minus, do it in calculator, minus 7040 minus 210 minus 190 plus 3080. Do it this way. So minus 4360. The total cost of branch is minus 4360. Okay. I repeat it once again regarding inter-segment elimination, because no information is given about segment expenses or profits in inter-segment elimination. We assume that 3080 of goods which are sold by division A to B, B to C. There's 3,550 and 30 are sold at cost only. Means revenue is also the same, cost or expenses are also the same. They are not earning profit in inter-segment revenue. Now 7200 minus 7040, 160 is segment profit of A. 230 minus 220 is segment profit of B. 180 minus 190 minus 10 is segment loss of C. And that is already given here also. 160, 20 and minus 10. Okay. And in inter-segment, no profit or loss. As we discussed, they are supplying the goods at cost only. So no profit they are earning in inter-segment transactions. Overall 4530 minus 4360. There is a profit of 170. Combine all the segments taken together, in which 160 is earned from segment A, 120 is earned from segment B, and 10 of loss is incurred from segment C. So total segment results are 170. Now head office income, what we have to add, there is no head office income given over here. So head office income will remain nil. Head office expenses, what we have to minus, again write them in bracket. As I discussed, 50 plus 25 plus 25. Head office expenses 50 plus 25 plus 25. Directly we will subtract in total column 50 plus 25 plus 25, 100. Now 170 minus 100, profit before interest and tax will be 70. From that we have to minus interest. Now interest is how much again? 5 plus 4 plus 110. Interest is 5 plus 4 plus 1, that is 10. So in interest column we will minus 10. And 70 minus 10, profit before tax will become 60. Now assets information, what we have to write. So in assets also they are given fixed assets and current assets separately. So first within assets we write segment fixed assets. Okay, first we write segment fixed assets. So all of you can see what are segment fixed assets. 50 are head office, sorry. Segments are 250, 50 and 160. Segments are 250, 50 and 160. So first we write segment fixed assets 250, 50 and 160. So total would be 250 plus 50, 300 plus 160, 460. Then head office fixed assets. Okay, head office fixed assets. They are 50. Okay, head office fixed assets are given as 50. So in total column you write directly 50. Total fixed assets 460 plus 50, 510. Total fixed assets, okay, 460 plus 50, 510. Now here we'll have to insert. That's why I said to you in the beginning itself that don't write the particulars column. Here we have current assets also. So current assets are also to be inserted. Okay, 3 more informations will come in assets. So insert in between, write down segment current assets. Now we will write segment current assets. What are segments current assets? In fact, net current assets. Net current assets means current assets minus current liabilities. So net current assets are 130 plus 55 plus 95. 130 plus 55 plus 95. 130 plus 55 plus 95. That comes to 280. Then head office current assets. Okay, head office current assets. See, head office net current assets are directly given as 45. Okay, head office net current assets are directly given as 45. So total would be 285 plus 45, 325. Total would be 280 plus 45, 325. Total net current assets or total current assets. Okay, now we write segment liabilities. Segment liabilities are given as 30, 20 and 150. So segment liabilities, all of you write down 30, 20 and 150. Now 30 plus 20, 50 plus 150, 200. Then head office liabilities are directly given as 40. So in head office liabilities, all of you write down 40. 200 plus 40, 240 would be the total liabilities. So this is how we have to make a segment report. Very, very simple. Okay. Similarly, we solve question number 3 also. All of you take out question number 3. Yes, now look at question number 3, everyone. Get into it. Following details are given about DNA Limited for the year ended 31st March 2019. Now, of course, sales is going to be your revenue. Now these are all the segments. Which are the segments? Food products, plastic and packaging, health and scientific others. So here 4 segments are there, means one more column will increase. What will format will you make? Particulars, then 4 columns: food products, plastic and packaging, health and scientific others, then inter-segment elimination, and then total. Now the revenue of food products is given 5650, but simultaneously all of you see adjustment A, inter-segment sales are as below. Means what is the inter-segment sales of food products? 50. What is the inter-segment sales of food products? 50. So here 55 rather. So out of 5650, inter-segment is 55. Total is 5650. Inter-segment is 55. Means 5595 will be the external. Show it this way in your study material, every one of you. 5650 is the total sales. Bifurcation is not given. Classification is not given. How much is internal and external? Therefore, they have given you additional information that inter-segment sales are as below. In fruit products, the inter-segment sales are 55. Sort of 5650, 55 are inter-segment, means remaining 5595 are external. Same way from 625, see here in plastic and packaging, what are internal? 72. Show it in your study material. 625 minus 72. How much will be external? 553. Same way in health and scientific, see here the internal are 21. So 345 minus 21. 324 will be external sales, and in others, out of 162, 7 are internal. So 162 minus 7, 155 will be external. All these are external sales and these are the internal sales to be shown in our segment report. Now here expenses are directly given. Earlier question profit was directly given. Here expenses are directly given. So segment expenses, we will minus these 4 amounts. Other items, general corporate expenses. So in head office expenses, we will minus 560. Income from investments. So head office incomes, we will add 135. This is head office expenses. This is head office incomes. Interest expense, so after profit before interest and tax, will minus 65. And identifiable assets are given to you. So all the segments assets and then head office assets will add. No information of liabilities is given. So in this segment report, liabilities won't be included. Now, first additional information we already considered. Look at second additional information. Operating profit. This is important, market important. Operating profit includes 33 lakh in inter-segment sales. Market important, everyone. Now, what is the importance? Understand it. I explained you in the beginning today that either you can sell these goods to other segment at profit or at cost, and then I explained you that example of 1200 also. If you sell at 1200, then 900 would be your expense and 300 would be your profit. It is that situation over here. Inter-segment profit is 33 lakhs. Inter-segment profit is 33 lakhs. First you see what is inter-segment revenue. These are the inter-segment revenues. 55, 72, 21, 7. Do the total. 55 plus 72 plus 21 plus 7. Inter-segment revenue is 155. Inter-segment revenue is total 155. Which amount? This total of blue amounts. Okay, 155. Now out of 155 inter-segment revenue, you are earning a profit of, okay, you are earning a profit of what amount? 33. In inter-segment revenue 155, you are earning a profit of 133. Okay, over here you are earning a profit of not 133. What profit is it? 33. Out of 155, if you are earning a profit of 33, that means what would be the cost or expense of those goods? 122. So here, like that example I gave you, that 900 shirt one segment sends to another segment at 1200. So in revenue we will include 1200, in expense we will include 900, and in profit we will eliminate 33. Same way here we will do. In revenue we will include 155, in expense or cost we will include 122, and from profit also we will have to eliminate 33. Here we assumed that 3080 is sent at cost only, so there was no inter-segment profit because no information was given. But here you are given that you are earning 33 lakhs from inter-segment profit also. So there also double counting will take place. We have to eliminate the profit also of 33 lakhs. So if 155 of inter-segment revenue is there, in that you are earning profit of 35, means what would be the cost of that goods which you are selling from one segment to another? 122. So in this question, in inter-segment revenue 155 will come, expenses 122 will come, and profit also 33 will have to be eliminated. I hope everyone is clear with this important point of 33 lakhs. Now they say information about inter-segment expenses are not available. So that we have calculated. Information about inter-segment expenses is not available, but profit is given 33. So we have calculated that expenses would be 122. You are required to prepare a statement showing financial information about DNA Limited's operation in different industry segments. So all of you make the same report as we discussed in the previous question. Segment report to be published, but now you'll have the columns of food products, plastic and packaging, health and scientific, and also others. Okay, also the column of others will come over here. So all of you make these columns, okay? And in particulars, don't write anything. Simultaneously, when we solve it, at that time only you write segment revenue, external, internal, etc. Pause the video and make the formats, everyone. Yes, I hope everyone has made the formats. Now look at the things. External revenue, as we discussed, is going to be 5595. Okay, 5595 right in food products column. Then plastic and packaging is 553. Okay, we have already done the calculation. Then 324 and 155. 324 and 155. Okay, so external total revenue, all of you do it. 5595 plus 553 plus 324 plus 155. That comes to 6627. Then inter-segment revenue, what we have to eliminate, we already discussed that. 55, 72, 21, 7. It is also given in adjustment 1, 55, 72, 21 and 7. 55, 72, 21 and 7. So in inter-segment elimination, what we have to minus, that total also we have done here, 155. Total inter-segment revenue is 155. Total will come nil always. Okay. And after that, we'll get the total revenue of each segment. So that is also directly given over here. 5650, 625, 5650, 625, 345 and 162. 345 and 162. Here we discussed that in inter-segment expenses we have to eliminate how much? 122. Okay, I hope everyone is clear with that. 122. Now here in expenses, okay, revenue we have to eliminate 155 only. So what is the total? We'll get 6627. Now from that segment expenses, what we have to minus? They are given in information over here. Food products is 3335, 425, 222 and 200. So write down 3335 segment expenses in bracket. 3335, then 425, then 222 and 200. Okay, 222 and 200. Now here, as we discussed that in inter-segment elimination, what are the expenses we have to eliminate? 122. And I told you in inter-segment expenses, you always add it. Okay, to eliminate the expenses, we add it. So do it in calculator. Minus 3335 minus 425 minus 222 minus 200 plus 122. So total will come to 4060. Okay, total expenses what we have to eliminate are 4060. Now we'll get the segment results. So 5650 minus 3335, 2315 of profit, 625 minus 425, so 200 of profit, 345 minus 222, so 123 of profit, 162 minus 200, so minus 38 of loss, and minus 152 plus 122, so 33 of profit we have to eliminate. That was already given in adjustment B also, that 33 lakhs is inter-segment profit to be eliminated. So 6627 minus 4060 will come to 2567, which you can also cross check with 2315 plus 200 plus 123 minus 38 minus 33 So that will also come to 2567. Now head office income is directly given over here. Income from investments 135. Okay, so head office income in last column of it, I don't 135. Then head office expenses are directly given over here 65. Head office expenses are also, no, not 65, that is an interest expense. Head office expenses are also given 560. So 560 we will write in head office expenses. Now profit before interest and tax, what we will get, all of you do it. 2567 plus 135 minus 560, 2142. 2142. In that we will minus interest of, yes, interest is that 65. In that we'll minus interest of 65. So all of it are down in bracket minus 65. Now 2142 minus 65, what will be profit before tax? 2142 minus 65 will be 2077. 2077. Now segment assets. Okay, what are the segment assets directly given to you? 7300, 1350, 1050, 660. 7300 food products. Then 1350 plastic and packaging. Then 1050 scientific and others, and health and scientific, and 660 is of others. So total 7300 plus 1350 plus 1050 plus 660, 10360. And head office assets, corporate assets over here you are given. Head office assets means corporate assets 725. Okay, 10360 even total was directly given. So in corporate assets, head office assets will write 725. Total assets will come to 10360 plus 725, 11085. No information about liabilities is given, so liabilities part will not come in our solution. Okay. So this is how we have to make the segment report. The chapter as such is over. Still one more lecture I'll be giving you in the next lecture. Lecture 4, I'll be discussing important theory points of this chapter which can come in MCQ. So don't ignore the next chapter. Sorry, next lecture. In next lecture, I'll be discussing important theory points of this chapter which can come in your MCQ exams. That'll be all for this lecture. Bye everyone. Take care. See you in the next lecture.